Hey YouTube, Preppin' Mama here. How's it going today? The other day I filmed an 8-segment video of the exterior church tour for you, and I was able to upload 7 of those segments into my video editing program, and for some reason the first one would not upload, and I'm not sure why. So I'm refilming it for you right now. I was freshly back from a conference. Just before I left for the conference, I got no sleep because one of my daughters came down with a cold and was up all night. So I was kind of up a lot of the night with her. And then my husband held down the fort while I was at the conference. And the other daughter, my other little one, got sick while I was gone. And so he had 2 sick girls on his hands, 3 healthy boys, and he managed to get the house clean, and it was cleaner when I got home than it was when I left. And well, basically he's just a better housekeeper than I am. That's what it comes down to. Anyway, so kudos to him for taking care of that and getting so much done while I was gone. It was a really good time at the conference. I went with 3 friends and I got a lot out of it, so it was good. But when I came home, I had the cold too. So when I filmed this segments on Monday or Tuesday, when I filmed them, I was not feeling good at all. So you got the healthier Preppin' Mama today. So anyway, I was just gonna let you know, this is my intro. I'm gonna take you around the church and show you all of the outbuildings and the exterior of the main building. And the reason I don't show you the inside yet is because I need to keep the video at a reasonable length. So when I do the inside, I'll probably do those all at once in a separate video. So without further ado, here is the exterior tour of the church property, which we have yet to name because we're still discussing what to call it. You can just read into that what you want. We're not agreeing, or we're not coming up with something we agree on, I guess is what it comes down to. Okay, so here you go. Okay, this is the first outbuilding right outside our back fence. This is the well house. This well house electricity is actually hooked to our home, and it is a shared well between our home and the property that we just bought at the church. It is crumbling. So one of the first projects we are going to complete, because we know it's doable before fall, is to rebuild this. So we're going to take it down and completely rebuild it, and we're going to use some alternative building materials as kind of an experiment. So I'm excited about sharing that with you, and I'm also excited about sharing with you when we get a hand pump put in, because that has always been my goal. I've been pushing for it for a while, and my husband just didn't feel comfortable investing in that as long as the well was shared. But now that it's not, we can proceed with that. So I don't know what the alternative construction method is specifically called, but it's a foam block method that you pour concrete down in between. So that is our goal. Let me just take you around this building. This is newly cleared. This was all blackberries, and we completely cleared all of this. But you see the clearance here with the fence is not great. The door, my husband wants to put in a 3-foot door, an actual door. We might try to make this slightly smaller building, but with a larger door, and it's definitely going to look better. But I'm pretty sure that's our water line coming out right there and going into the ground. I fully expect some Mickey Mouse Jimmy rigging to come up here, because I'm pretty sure that's just kind of what's been going on here for many years. So it's basically fallen apart. It needs a new roof, and it's been covered with vines that you can see right there, the bamboo. I mean, bamboo can be nice, but it can be invasive, and it can grow under your house. Ask me how I know. And it looks like it's kind of taken over here between the bamboo and the blackberries. It's kind of a war to keep things under control. Okay, on to the next one. And this is what we're lovingly calling the potting shed. I suspect that this building predates the other buildings on this property. because of this siding here, which is underneath this siding here, I actually think this property was part of a larger farm. Through these trees and up on what used to be a hill, it's now been flattened and developed into a housing development. There used to be a large white farmhouse, and I suspect that all of this property belonged to that farmhouse. But I have not confirmed any of this yet. Anyway, this building, I suspect, is quite a bit older than any of the other buildings on this property. We are calling it the potting shed because I'm going to be using it as one. And it's quite large. I can't remember the dimensions. It's at least 20. Oh no, how did you get out? I gotta go put her back in just a sec. Okay, so as I was saying, I think it's about 20 feet long by about 10 maybe. The windows are broken. It's got original windows, it's got aluminum windows, the siding on the back is falling off, the gutters have fallen off. But the plan is to make this my apothecary and potting shed. We'll see if that works out. I'll take you inside when I do interior tours, but for now, that is what it looks like this is going to be. As you can see, the siding's sitting on the ground. Big no-no. So we've got problems here, people. And we're not going to be putting a lot of money into any of the outbuildings because they're either eventually going to be taken down well, they'll eventually be taken down. I think that's basically what's going to happen. Okay, so the garage. I don't know when this was built. I know when it was redone and they didn't bother to side it. They put roofing paper on it. There's something to do with the water there. I think that's the water heater. I think that's the water heater. This is the garage. They removed the garage door from the front and put in a man door, which is fine. We don't need the garage door. It's fine. We're actually going to be housing our vermiculture setup in this building. So it is sided on the front. This is our trailer. My son was over here. He filled this trailer up with brush earlier, my 12-year-old, so that was what his job was today. All right, and then the main building. As you can see, this is probably asbestos siding. I don't know if I can get back far enough for you to see. There's a big mess here. The side of the building is a problem. So we have a mixture of original windows. We have a mixture of aluminum windows. We have a mixture of different sidings and patch jobs here. This is probably asbestos, but it's okay because we're licensed contractors and we're certified to handle these kinds of things. We've been through all the education to handle these kinds of things. So when we decide to deal with this, we will deal with it appropriately. So that's the side. As you can see, that's my house down there. Okay, so here we are. This is the front. This is the front of the building. Now, my kids think this is the back of the building because they can see the back, the actual back of the building from our house. They keep saying that's the front, but technically, this is the front of the building. Let me get back here as far as I can so you can see it. What we're dealing with here. It's not pretty by any stretch of the imagination. The roof is bad. That spire or steeple is not to scale, and I think I've already given it away. We thought about using it as a yard decoration, but someone wants it, so I'm just going to let them have it. There's ivy growing up. So right now the plan, and when we're done with the fencing, is to remove this wheelchair ramp. I don't know if you can tell, but the concrete for that starts right about there, and it goes up We're going to remove that. We're going to remove all of this. We're going to remove the camellia that someone has let get too leggy, and all this ivy, and that planter. See that brick planter that's there? We're removing all of that. That is part of the demolition that we're doing in the front. My plan, as of right now, is to make that window larger, like this one, and that window larger. Probably larger than this one, or I might put two here. But inside it's very dark, so we need to get some more natural light in there. And these are those aluminum windows that were probably put in the 70s or 80s. And I mean, obviously, look at the charm of this window and look at those. It looks terrible. So that's the plan, is to change the windows out in the front. Now this is long term here, people. At this point, we're just doing demo. Okay, so here's where the fence is going to be. Of course, the caution tape is down. We're bringing the fence back all the way so we can have a taller fence. Otherwise, we'd have to have a short fence if we were to get it closer to the street. And we don't want a fence that's too short that people can hop over. So we're just bringing it back. We're going to do an arbor right here. So those are all the holes that are dug for the fencing. Okay, I'll take you over here where the staircase was. They've already been efficient in taking it down, but we did get photos first, so that's good. This is an old irrigation ditch, so we're just fencing on the inside of it. It's not in use anymore. Somewhere along the line, someone blocked the irrigation, so we don't have access to it. They were charging us for it though, of course. Okay, so here is where, let me back up here so you can see. And the light's not great, sorry guys. This is where there were very, very, very unsafe and crumbling stairs up to the second floor. We took those out yesterday. I did not get video before then, I apologize for that. I just couldn't get over here. I needed to come home and spend some time with my hands in the dirt and hugging my babies, so I didn't get video done. But, so we removed the stairs, we're keeping the door. The plan is a metal staircase with a much larger balcony than was there. So furniture can be moved in and out. And we're very much considering removing the stairs that go to this floor on the inside altogether, so it's a completely separate thing. The stairs on the inside, well, let me go over here and I'll talk to you about it. Okay, so the stairs on the inside, I can call them unsafe. They're sturdy, but they're not to code. The treads are not even big enough for your feet to go on, and they're extremely steep. So obviously it was added later at some point, or added maybe before codes, because we didn't have building codes around here or any kind of regulation with that until the late 70s, I think 1978 here in Oregon. So I'm going to say it was probably added later, but I don't know. Anyway, when I give you a tour of the inside, you'll see how gross it looks in the stairwell. It just doesn't look good. And it's not a fun place to go. And I cannot take my disabled daughter up those stairs. It's too dark and too steep in there. So we are seriously considering moving those stairs and using the space that they take up for something else in there, and just having the stairs on the outside, which we know will be safe because we're having them made from metal, from iron, or whatever you make metal stairs from these days. And we're going to be putting in a 4-foot wide staircase on the side, which will be black metal, and it will have a larger balcony. Because the balcony that was there was quite narrow. And for moving furniture upstairs, I don't even know how you would move furniture up the stairs, either inside or outside, because of the narrow staircases. So, we're not 100% how we're using this building. How we plan to use this building, we're still discussing, but we've got a lot of ideas floating and a lot of ideas we're discussing. And I think we decided that no matter how we use this building, we do not need the interior staircase. We want the upper floor and the lower floor to be separate. So for now, what we're going to do is keep the interior staircase for now until we have the exterior one done. That's going to be pretty pricey, so I don't know when that's going to happen. And then we're going to ignore the upper floor for now and just deal with the lower. And as far as the lower floor, we're probably going to tear out the carpet and paint for now. But we'll see. We're still discussing. And my job is to actually come up with a design for the exterior for now. So that we can, as we can, just kind of work on it. Okay, so I'll take you around the back and show you what's going on there. This place has been added onto several times. It looks like there was a porch and they kicked out the porch and made it part of the building. And there's just a lot of things. There's a lot of things that weren't done correctly. So I think we've bitten off a big project, but we're not in a hurry to take care of everything at once. So we're just going to plug away at it. I mean, it's really hard not to take care of everything at once. Like my husband said this morning, I wish I had $100,000. Okay, so that's just some of the stuff we've removed. That's basically the staircase. And look, I've got some mature rose bushes here that I'm trying to trim up and take care of because I don't know that the person who's been here has been doing it correctly. And we have irises and weeds. Lots of quickcrete. Okay, so this is the rear. That is a little office that looks like it's been added onto the porch. You can see the roof line. You can see the dormers are not to scale. My goal is to remove those and put a shed dormer or skylights there. Those things are really bugging me. This is why my kids keep calling this the front of the church, because this is actually the entrance that everyone used. Because this is where the parking lot is. And they have a good ramp here too. So this ramp will stay. So there's no reason why we can't take the ramp out in front. So the ramp in front, it was poured over the existing porch, entryway, whatever it is, as you can see there. But we're actually going to remove all of that and kind of rework this area because we're not going to use this door. So we're going to decide after we remove this structure and all of this landscaping and everything, we're going to decide if we're going to take the door out or if we're just going to put a commercial door in, because this is commercial and it will be used commercial as a commercial space for us. So we might just put a black glass commercial door here. Not sure. If we do, my plan is to do some kind of pergola or some type of structure with like a little sitting area out here. Now, even though this is technically the front of the building, we'll be treating it actually as the rear. And in this area would be a great place to sit out and eat lunch, but also enjoy this front yard, technically front yard here. I plan to put a cottage garden in here. So there's lots of space, and this does not all need to be grass / weeds. So in this area, I plan to put in, against the fence, it'll be cottage garden-like, and then there will actually be some raised beds in here. And then over on this side, there will be deep cottage garden beds all along the fence area. And if we keep grass, there won't be a ton. So we have discussed making the upper floor an Airbnb, and that idea is still in the running. And if that's the case, this area would be where people who came to stay would park. This area would be where they can enjoy being outside. and they would not have access to the whole rear. So they would enter through the metal staircase and enjoy their stay and have access to this whole area here and the parking, but the rear area is what would be used for our family, or, you know, the things we plan to do. Incidentally, look at what somebody did to this beautiful Japanese maple. They butchered it. I'm just not sure I have much faith in people anymore when I see things like this. Oh, it had a beautiful shape, but somebody didn't like what someone did there. They just butchered it. Look at this. Ugh, frustrating. All right, so that's the outside of the building. We're gonna put a tall fence here. And we're gonna put a tall fence on this other side so that when you look at it from the street, you don't see anything in the rear of the building at all. And then we'll have a 4-foot fence up here, which will also be solid. It should be tall enough that people can't hop over. And it'll be pretty. And then there will be a 6-foot fence right along here, so that when you look at it from the street, you can't see into the rear at all. 12-foot gate across this driveway too. So, I hope I haven't confused you by talking and walking. It's going to be a large project and it's going to be a long project, but those are some of the plans that we have. We know that as soon as we start busting out this planter, the first layer of siding is behind this planter. Is probably likely asbestos siding right there. So as soon as we do that, we're actually going to have to reside this. And the plan is board and batten. So that's what we have planned. But all of this will come out. And what I need to do is go across the street and take a good photo and then print it out and start drawing on it to get the design, you know, right in my head and what I want. And we're still discussing this, and that's in quotes, and you can guess what that means, but I'm pretty sure I've won him over, is I want this building to be white with black windows and black doors. So white board and batten with black windows and doors, and eventually a charcoal roof. That is my plan. I think I've won him over. I think he has a hard time with seeing it in his mind's eye, so I had to get him on Pinterest and show him, but I'm thinking that that's what we're gonna go with. Either way, it's gonna look way better than it does now. Okay, thanks for joining me, you guys. This video's gotten really long. I'm gonna upload it as the exterior tour of the church building project, and I will come back and show you the inside another day. Thanks for joining me. If you're interested in all things preparedness or wacky, crazy projects my husband and I do, please subscribe. I am happy to have you join my YouTube family and see all the things that I do for preparedness and dealing with special needs and dietary issues and all of those things, and all the things that I handle as a mom of 7, and as someone who loves preparedness and all things preparedness. All right, thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you soon. I forgot to say that that pile is going bye-bye, and that pile is getting spread over there for weed control. And this tree, we haven't decided yet. All right, prepping mama out.